Hello Libra, this is your general reading for the week commencing Monday 16th of April 2018. It's a 3-card spread. The first card is things as you see them. The second card is the veil, the obscuration. And the third card is things as they really are. Major arcana only, and I'm reading towards me, so let's go. Okay, the Lovers in reverse, the Devil, and the Wheel of Fortune. Right. Okay, let's just have a little think about this. Well, this is definitely to do with some sort of tussle between freedom of choice and bondage, between being free and being stuck, between being able to control things and not being able to control things. That's what I see here. The Lovers is a hugely enigmatic card. There's such a lot going on in it. But overall for me, what this card represents is the point at which you feel in any given scenario that, well, what it represents for me here is the point at which you feel in any given scenario that you have agency, that you have choice, that you can choose this or that. Whereas in fact, what's going on is this little Cupid here is about to take matters not into his own hands, because he don't care. His eyes are blindfolded there. He can't see where he's shooting. He just goes around shooting people, making stuff happen. So it's going to be taken out of the young man's hands, this supposed choice that he has. And it's clear what's going to happen. He's going to shift paradigm from being his mother's son to being this lady's husband. That's how I see this card in this context. And what's obscuring your vision is the Devil. But hold on a sec, because I need to talk about the fact that this is in the reverse. I think you would rather like it if you didn't have any choice in whatever is going on. And I mean, the extent to which any of us is able to influence anything is limited. And I know that's not a very fashionable point of view, that one is supposed to be able to manifest what one wants into one's reality. And to a certain extent, that's true. I think certainly in terms of how we feel about things and how we see things, but whether that is reflected in external reality is another matter altogether, because there are all sorts of independent forces exterior to us acting on circumstances. And I think, I'm getting the feeling you rather like that. You like the idea that there's nothing you can do. But what's really going on is that, well, this is the aspect, the Devil here in the upright. Remember, I'm reading towards me. The Devil here is showing me that rather than sort of genuinely there being nothing you can do, this is an abdication of responsibility. And it's a chosen abdicate. Well, abdication always is. This is you choosing, say, I can't do anything about this. And the fact that the obscuration is the Devil shows me that there's a certain amount of choice about this, and it's not as true as you wish it were. And the fact of the matter is that there is everything to play for, but you're here hung up on kind of playing a game with yourself, I would say, Libra, about how much agency you do or do not have. And this game that you're playing with yourself is really rooted in a wish to abdicate responsibility. That's what I'm seeing here. This is sugar-free tarot. I don't dress it up. I'm going to get more on this. I always want more on this, especially when it turns up in the first position. If it's the first one in any particular position, I always want more on the Wheel of Fortune because everything's up in the air with this. So let's get a little bit more clarification on this. Right, the Star in reverse. Okay, yeah, well, you're leaving yourself vulnerable. Libra, you're leaving yourself vulnerable by kind of keeping your blinkers on and pretending they're not there. I guess that's the whole nature of blinkers, is that you can't see that they're there because there's just these two things on either side of your head blocking your vision. You can take them off. You can take them off. And I get the feeling that by not doing that and pretending there's nothing you can do about it, oh dear, I can't help it, you are actually leaving yourself vulnerable here. I mean, what I'm getting in this reading with the Star reverse is I'm just seeing the nakedness, the vulnerability of this lady here. It's nighttime, she's out there, it's cold. This ain't good. She's got to get bloody exposure. And there's a kind of free fall going on here, I see, with the Wheel of Fortune and the Star in the reverse. There's a free fall at work. And I would say that the way for you, if you wish, to limit the potential damage that can come from this free fall, anything can happen, whoa, kind of energy that you're going to be left in, unless you harness this, is to harness some of what's going on over here. Okay, where am I going now for clarification? I'm going to get some clarification on this. It's so enigmatic, even in the upright. There's such a lot going on in the Lovers card. In the reverse, okay. The Emperor, yeah, you really think there's nothing you can do, and that's the law. That's kind of the law, not the law, but that's just the way it is. Yeah, I see this Emperor here putting his foot, bombing his fist down with this great big mace thing or whatever it is, this great big scepter that he's holding here, and saying, this is how it is. And I've got to say, you are kidding yourself. You're choosing to not look past your own sense of lack of agency. And as I say, this is leaving you vulnerable this week. And I've got a feeling like you're referring this abdication of responsibility. You are abdicating your own rulership, your own authority, by kind of passing it back to a previous and therefore perhaps in your mind higher authority, that there's nothing you can do and it was made that way. But this is always willed. This bondage is always willed. Yeah, there is life after the devil, but one has to cut the chains oneself. Let's get more on that. Oh my word. Right, well, you see, again, this death is this transformation. It's not something that one generally organises for oneself, thankfully. But I'm still getting a sense that you want to not be able to control what is happening, and you want to be able to blame that lack of control on some kind of higher authority. Be that from your childhood, the way you were brought up, be that from, from the past or perhaps in the present, that there are certain constrictions on you that you are unable, quotes unquote, to do anything about. And you just want something to come in from the outside to sweep it all away. Again, this is lack of control. Now, I think I've said enough for the time being about this, about the vulnerability the vulnerability of the position that this leaves you in. So I'm not getting anything that's shifting this general dynamic that I'm seeing from this. So I'm going to pull one more. Right. Okay. If right, we've got the Hermit in the upright. If any of this rings true for you, Libra, and you can see ways that you are willingly seeing yourself as subject to some external or unchangeable constriction, and therefore there is nothing you can do about whatever it is that you've come here to get a reading about. The Hermit card here would suggest to me that it's time to take a step back. Take a step back and ask yourself, hold the light up. He's carrying his lamp. Hold the light up to your own face in the mirror and have a good look. And ask yourself straight, is there really nothing I can do? Am I really as subject as I appear to be to external or past forces, and therefore not in a position to influence anything? And the fact that the Hermit has come up here would suggest to me that you will have some sort of answer for yourself that will challenge your perceived version of events and your own powerlessness. I mean, the Hermit is not some mad old geezer in a cave jabbering to himself. I mean, even sometimes mad old geezers in caves come up with works of genius, like St. John of Patmos and the Book of Revelation. Time for a word with yourself. Hold that lamp up. Hold on to the stick. Hold on tight. Hold the lamp up. Have a good look. I think there is actually more you can do in whatever this situation is, and I would strongly advise you to think along those lines, because the Wheel of Fortune, clarified here by the star in reverse, is a kind of vulnerable free fall. Okay, Libra, please like, please share, please subscribe. If you would like a private reading, the email address is in the description box below, and I look forward to seeing you again for the next reading. Okay, cheers, bye-bye.